Onto this now. Germiston corridor is one of the many train corridors affected by vandalism and theft. Many stations were stripped bare and former train commuters had to pay hefty taxi fares. Well, today the Transport Minister, Sindisiwe Chikunga, along with the PRASA executives, are checking on the progress of the Germiston corridor. And that's where we find Newzroom Afrika's Nqobile Madlala, who is live for us. Nqobile, good morning to you. So the significance of this visit by the Transport Minister, it cannot be overstated given the state of the railway systems in South Africa.
Indeed, Polly. In fact, a lot of people got a chance to speak to the minister and highlight how this has affected them. You'll find that a lot of families have been affected financially, but also safety being one of the things that they've highlighted, saying that they would like to see these trains being more safer. They'd like to see SAPS also taking part in that, and security also being part of that. But we do know that there are a lot of businesses that also take part in all of this, and these are some of the people that would be selling outside the trains, the train stations, and those are some of the small businesses that have been affected. So with the trains now working, this is good for them because then business starts to take shape. So I want to bring in now the Group CEO to speak to us, and of course we know that you are hosting the minister to sort of give detail in terms of how this Germiston corridor is going to be up and running, and we can see already the trains are travelling through. But tell us a bit in terms of how far is it now, how many trains are currently functioning, and how many corridors are also affected in Gauteng as a whole?
Okay, thank you very much and good morning. Yes, as you've indicated, we're launching the Larala to Germiston corridor with the minister today. This is the 8th corridor now in Gauteng. We've got 7 that's already operational that we have launched earlier, Yomabopani to Pretoria, Pienaarspruit, Saulsville. We've also got the De Wild service and the service here in the south in Naledi, Soweto. So we are very pleased that we are launching another corridor with the minister today, Larala to Germiston. We've seen an investment of close to 500 million just in infrastructure. This is in recovering the electrical infrastructure, your overhead traction as well as your substations, and then the investment in security, as you've pointed out, and a lot of questions we got from the commuters, indicating both that they feel a lot more safe on our trains. They've seen the presence of security on our trains. We've got the CCTV cameras in our trains. We've got the security presence at our stations, and it's 24/7. Throughout the day and the night, we've got security visible on our system. That's only the first part. I mean, we've got technology that is being rolling out as part of this process. I've mentioned the CCTV. Later on, we're looking at drone patrols, and also then securing our network by physically building walls. Yes, it can be seen to be also a challenge in terms of ensuring there's access across between communities, but we will have the necessary pedestrian bridges. But important to PRASA and safe operations is to ensure at the critical spots the network is closed.
I mean, vandalism also took its toll on your network and signalling. How have you fixed that now?
So as I've mentioned, you see in the electric, the signalling has been particularly severely impacted by theft and vandalism. We've got many infrastructure programs, not only in this corridor. In addition to the 7 that we have already recovered, we are working on a number of corridors in Gauteng that we are bringing back. The corridor through to Roodepoort, the one midway down to Vereniging that we are bringing back. And with this, to ensure when we bring back the service, we've got the security plan in place. As mentioned earlier with the minister, that from the time we've launched Larala to Germiston, we virtually brought the security incidents down to close to 0. No significant incidents on the corridor, and that is because of the strategy of the integrated strategy of having physical boots on the ground and then rolling out the technology to follow on from that.
In the past, we saw cable theft being one of the major issues, and of course leading to some of the derailment of the trains. How are you going to ensure that that doesn't happen again?
Yeah. So when it comes to issue of derailment, again, we've got a significant maintenance program that we are dealing with, particularly with the track maintenance. So we've got the heavy on-track machines that we will be deploying on our network, not only to ensure that the trains can move safely on the rails, but also to ensure that we can operate at higher speeds. At the moment, we operated at 60 kilometers an hour. Once we've done that maintenance and had the on-track machines on board, we're looking at increasing the speed to 90 kilometers. And that's where we'll be operating our commuter service.
And lastly, commuters were asking to say they need monthly tickets because those become less expensive. And at the moment, of course, you're starting out. That's not possible. When can we see that taking shape?
Okay. The teams are already working on the weekly and monthly tickets. As they've correctly pointed out, we're currently selling single and return tickets at the moment. But within the course of the next month or two, on certain corridors, we want to start rolling out the weekly tickets. We know it adds to the convenience of our commuters, not having to queue every morning to get a ticket. So it's one of our priorities in terms of rolling out these tickets.
Thank you very much for speaking to us. Well, Xoli, that is what's currently taking place here, as there's, of course, that launch of Lerala corridor in Germiston. Now, we do know that some of the commuters here have been worried about the fact that some of the stations are still not currently working, and they're saying that that would also be better for them, of course, to see more trains being active. This is a cheaper mode of transport for a lot of families that are affected financially, but we are hearing now from the group CEO that those are the plans that they have, and of course it's not going to take a day for them to fix this, but they are well on their way trying to put everything together.